Hello, Unity of the Westside. I will read the daily word for today, Palm Sunday, March 28th, 2021, with permission from the publisher of the daily word. And the daily word for today is Hosanna. Guided by the divine presence within, I follow the path to spiritual freedom. I imagine Jesus' experience riding a young donkey through the gates of Jerusalem, seeing the waving palm branches, feeling the people's love, hope, and even their fear as they shout, Hosanna! Blessed is the one who comes in the name of the Lord. His followers looked to Jesus as one who would free them from the bondage of Roman rule. Jesus, embracing his Christ nature, the spiritual identity he shares with all people, had accepted the greater mission of leading humankind to freedom from all bondage, all limitation, even freedom from death. Taking my inspiration from Jesus' example, I fearlessly embrace my Christ nature. Guided by the divine presence within, I follow the path to spiritual freedom. And from John 12:13, so they took branches of palm trees and went out to meet him, shouting, Hosanna. This is the daily word, and so it is.
Good morning, friends. Let us start our time together with a meditation that invites us into the depths of the truth of our being. Our focus today is truth. Closing your eyes, allowing yourself to go deeper into the presence of truth that lives within you. Feel yourself take that conscious journey down into your heart space, connecting with the ever-present spark of luminous glory that is you, knowing that as you connect with this spark of light, of luminosity, of radiance, you can feel its energy pulsating within you. And as you feel it pulsating, you know that it, as the power of truth, has the potential to shift anything in your life. Did you come here today with a problem of abundance, with an issue of relationship, with something that was bothering you? Perhaps a pain in your back, in your leg, in your hip. Truth, the power of truth is a healer of all things. The power of truth is a mighty presence that can alchemically transform anything and everything. But you must lean into it. You must accept it. You must align with it. Align with that power of truth so that it is the expression in every cell of your being, expressing the truth of who you are, as the I am is the dominant vibration of your being. The trouble with truth is it wants every ounce of you. All of me, a little voice in me said once. And the powerful voice answered back to me and it said, yes, my dear child, all of you. That is what I want. All of you. Let us sit for the moment in the silence and allow that power of truth. Allow ourselves to surrender into it, to be present to it. Allow it to have all of you. the truth of your being, the truth of Christ consciousness moving in and through you as the I am presence. That is the truth. I am the truth of Christ energy, frequency, consciousness, vibration in expression. And I live this in the world. So it is. Amen. Amen. Ah. Amen. Our lesson this morning is entitled The Trouble with Truth. The Trouble with Truth. A Unity minister, Robert Stevenson, long ago, said to his congregation on a Sunday morning, asked them straight in the eye, how many of you came here today with no problems? And those who rose their hands, he said, well, then see me after church because I'm going to give you a few. We chuckle, ha ha ha. Why? Why did he say that? It's because through problems and challenges we grow, friends. It is putting truth to work in our life that we grow when the problems, the trouble, the resistance, the pain, when that arises, it's our capacity to meet it with the truth of our being that's been established in every corner of our consciousness. You know, through discovering truth principles, especially in my life, I can speak as one who knows this to be true. Discovering truth and truth principles and using them to change my life, I invited my soul to grow. And that's what we all do, friends. We engage in soul evolution through saying yes to truth being present in our life, truth as principle, truth as law, truth as unchanging, unwavering principle. It's not truth or true, something true that we made up. It's knowing beyond a shadow of a doubt there is only one presence and one power in this universe, God, the good, omnipotent, regardless of what you're seeing in the outer. God, the good, omnipotent, at work. It is not your perception of truth. It's not your belief about truth. It's standing true. It is not your meaning making. Oh, yes, we do that. We make meaning of what we think truth is. Oh, that person's not living into spiritual principle. Oh, yeah? Which spiritual principle aren't they living into? And usually we can't answer that question. Truth, friends, is law, unchanging law. And law works, right use or wrong use. Law works. It works at the level of the vibratory alignment that you have to that which you are speaking, that which you are putting out into the universe, and then attracts back to you from that. You know, thing about truth is that once it finds you, friends, it doesn't want to really let you go. There was a song, I don't know, 50s and 60s by Patty Loveless, and it was called The Trouble with Truth. The Trouble with Truth. And here's some of the words that Patty uses in the song that I love. It's just an excerpt of some of the words. Oh, the trouble with truth is just what I need to hear, ringing so deep down inside my ear. And it's everything I want, and it's everything I fear. Oh, the trouble with truth. It's just what I need to hear. Oh, the trouble with truth. It has ruined the taste of my sweetest lies, burned through my best alibis. Every sin that I deny keeps hanging around my door. Oh, the trouble with truth is that it always begs for more. That's the trouble with truth. Yeah, that's the trouble with truth. Oh, the trouble with truth is it just won't let me rest. I run and I hide, but there's always another test. And I know that it won't let me be till I've given my best. That's the trouble with truth. It just won't let me rest. I breathe that in. So I'm going to give you little snippets of my thoughts about the trouble with truth. The trouble about truth with a capital T. That's a capital T, my friends. Truth with a capital T. The truth is always in your face. Oh, yes, it's always there saying, I wouldn't do that if I were you. The question is that truth big enough inside of you to stop you in your little ego, your small self, your adverse ego, to stop you from doing that which you know you shouldn't do? The trouble with truth is that it never goes away. Truly, no matter how hard you pray, truth doesn't go away. Oh, take this from me. I don't want it. I don't want to hear the truth about this. I want to act up. I want to be angry. I want to be upset. Don't be throwing that truth at me right now. I've got the right to be angry. Sometimes we have the right to be upset, but you know what? The level of spiritual maturity we have is measured by our capacity to be in a lack of reaction. That's the trouble with truth. The trouble with truth is it doesn't tell you what you want to hear, it tells you what's best. It tells you the truth. The trouble with truth, friends, it never lets you go. So let's just talk a little bit about what is truth. Truth is that divine spark in you that's known as the Christ consciousness, the Christ energy, the Christ frequency. It's that I am within you that wants you on the spiritual path. And once it grabs you, it doesn't want to let you go. Often I believe Jesus went to the mountaintops to resign. Why do I know that? Because there have been moments where I have said, I'm done. I'm done. Enough of the spiritual path, enough surrendering, enough giving in, enough of having to shift and see. Everybody else gets to be mad. Why can't I? But something inside says, okay, yes, 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 I will pick up the pieces and I will move forward. I will stand in truth instead of my little self. You know, it was the spirit of truth that led Jesus into the wilderness. After the spirit of truth had just baptized him, one of probably the highest moments of his life until then leads him into the wilderness where he has to fast and face all of his shadows and then faces big adversary. They called it the devil in the Bible, but it was really his own adversary. Do you want to be famous? Do you want to be rich? Do you want to be wealthy? Do you want to be known? The adversary threw all those things at him, and he had to say, no, not like that, not like that, not like that. No, I want the spirit of truth more than anything. One presence, one power. Spirit of truth led him into that wilderness. It was the spirit of truth that led him into the garden where he said to his disciples, sit with me and pray, because he knew he was troubled. The spirit of truth was troubling the waters. He was about to go on a journey into the crucifixion, and the spirit of truth was troubling the waters. And he just wanted his friends and disciples to pray with him. And perhaps he even begged when he said, take this cup from me. I don't want to go into that crucifixion. But then he said the biggest yes that we can say, nevertheless, I am willing. Nevertheless, I am willing to do thy will, God. Nevertheless, I am willing to live this truth. Nevertheless, I'm willing to put aside my little ego, my little wants, my little needs. Nevertheless, nevertheless, I am willing. You stop and breathe that in. Just say it to yourself. Nevertheless, I am willing. Nevertheless, I am willing. Nevertheless, I am willing. Just breathe it in right here, right now, and you will feel something happening. Ah, yes. Truth, my friends, truth is about an intensity of spirit, an intensity of intention, an intensity of shining the light on all the shadow aspects of ourselves. Oh, that can't be me. That can't be me. I know that I've walked that path personally. Oh, no, that can't be me. Yes, honey, that is you. That is you, my dear. What do you want to do about it? It can't be true. Yes, it is true. You see, because truth I have found is never comfortable. In fact, truth is most of the times is uncomfortable. Truth will enliven you. It will enliven you with such a spark of glory and beauty and hope. And then the next minute give you a lesson that says you think you've got it. Hey, well, let's see. Because it wants you to prove that it is unchangeable, that it is absolute. You see, truth will set you free, my friends, but it will not set you free from your current experience. You must do that through the power of truth in you as you. There's an old saying that says, life, she is a hard teacher. She gives you the experience first and then the lesson. Well, that, my friends, is truth. That is what truth does. So I want to share about myself and truth. When I was 28, I found unity. I found my first glimmer of truth. Up till then, I had had a very tumultuous life, tumultuous in that my mother was mentally ill, and that tumultuous in that through her mental illness, I thought she had come to this earth to literally destroy my life and make it miserable through all of her having to go to the hospitals over and over and over, and me as the eldest child being thrown into the responsibility of the household and the other children and blah, blah, blah. And I held resentment and anger. She would call me. She had her days and nights mixed up, and she would call me at 3 o'clock in the morning, and I would hear her voice and I'd hang up on her just so she knew I heard her and that I knew it was her. I'd hang up on her. It was ugly. I'm not saying it was pretty, friends, because sometimes when truth wants you to find out who you are, it ain't pretty. It just ain't pretty. So I found unity, and I was at a retreat at Thanksgiving, and Bill Fisher was leading us in a meditation. And in the midst of that meditation, whew, the energy of my heart just blew open. And in the midst of that light was my mother. Her little countenance, her spirit, her energy. She was there. And I had such a washing of love. And in that moment, I knew she hadn't come to make my life miserable. She had come to shape me into the woman that I was becoming. And when the retreat was over, I went outside and there was a payphone. I picked up the payphone and I called her collect. She answered the phone and she accepted the charges, and I'm crying, oh, sobbing, mommy, mommy, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, mom, for all the times I've hung up on you. I'm sorry for all the times I've called you crazy. I'm sorry for everything that I have ever done for you and to you, the words that I've spewed at you. Can you forgive me? Please forgive me. And that little voice came across the phone. And in that moment, she said to me, Toni, my darling, I love you. I have always loved you. She says we were both doing the best we could with what we had and what we were given. She said, know that I love you and I cherish the woman you are. My life changed in that moment, friends. Dramatically changed. Truth came alive in me. Yes, that's the trouble with truth. It won't let me rest. I can run and hide, but there's always another test. And I know that truth won't let me be till I've given my best. That's the trouble with truth, my friends. It just won't let me rest until I've given my best. Yes, my friends, that's the trouble with truth. Take a deep breath, and so I want to leave you with a practical application. Find a truth principle this week. One presence, one power, the law of abundance. Find a truth principle. Find out what it means. Let it speak to you. And regardless of what your little ego says, put that truth principle to work in your life. See if it doesn't move you to new heights of awareness. God bless you all, friends, and may you be troubled with truth. God bless you.
Hello, Unity family. So I thought I would give a little bit of an introduction for this song that I'm doing this week. This is a song called Why by Michael Card, who happens to be kind of one of my favorite Christian singer-songwriters. He is the one who wrote the song El Shaddai, which I think I've actually performed before during this time. So when Michael wrote this song, he actually said that he wrote the first part of it, these questions, which are kind of maybe a little bit dark questions, but he wrote these questions and to be part of this song. It was great, and then he thought, yeah, but now I have no idea how to answer these questions, and they're tough questions. And what happened is he put the song away for many years, actually, and then came back to it after he had a dream where the answers to those questions came to him. And this is a time right now, I think, where a lot of us are probably asking, just over the past year and a half, we're asking a lot of why certain things have happened and such. And ultimately, the answer, of course, is that God has some reasons why, and God is in control. We don't necessarily always see how that can possibly be at times, but these specific questions in this song are really addressing what I would call the kind of Easter week concept. So I thought it was a very appropriate song for us, or for me to share with you as we are kind of ending the Lenten season and coming into Palm Sunday, then of course Easter. So in just a moment, I'll perform the song Why by Michael Card. Why did it have to be a friend who chose to betray the Lord? And why did he use a kiss to show them that's not what a kiss is for? Only a friend can betray a friend. A stranger has nothing to gain, and only a friend comes close enough to ever cause so much pain. And why did there have to be a thorny crown pressed upon his head? It should have been a royal one, made of jewels and gold instead. It had to be a crown of thorns, because in this life that we give, for all who would seek to love, a thorn is all the world has to give. Why did it have to be a heavy cross he was made to bear? And why did they nail his feet and hands when his love would have held him there? It was a cross, for on the cross a thief was supposed to pay. And Jesus had come into this world to steal every heart away. Yes, Jesus had come into this world to steal every heart away.